Risk and reward. So what this one is about is how gyms are set up and what you can expect to gain from them. So we'll kind of look at two sort of different types of gyms here. We're going to look at the big kind of corporate leisure centre type gym and somewhere that's maybe like a CrossFit type place or something like what I've got here, which is a big wide open space type of gym that isn't full of machinery. So if you look at the big corporate leisure type kind of place, all right, when you go in, the setup is it's full of machinery. So there's like the legs machines, the arms machines, the ab cruncher machines, and then usually like a bank of like a cardio stuff with like cross trainers, treadmills and all that sort of stuff on there, recumbent cycles, static cycles, these kinds of things. Full of machinery, right? Whereas when you come into somewhere like this, you'll see it's largely a big open space with odd looking stuff in it a lot of the time that might not look so easy to use. So the way the setup works is this. You go into the big corporate style place, right? And it's full of all this type of machinery that's relatively simple to operate and quite difficult for you to have an accident on, all right? You kind of sit down on a machine and there's a little diagram there that says push the lever this way and pull the lever backwards, something like that. Or you get on a machine that's got a readout of data and it's pointing at a television, okay? Now, all these types of machines, the way they're set up is to make sure that there is a relatively low risk of accident so that you cannot, because you are unsupervised and working in a place like this on your own without supervision, it's set up so it's very difficult to have an accident and the insurance claims are really low. However, the reward you get from this reflects the type of risk put into the exercise. So it's very simple, you're safe, you're sat in a chair, you're sat in a kind of machine and you kind of push, pull them backwards. And with that comes not necessarily a great amount of reward. Now, you can have reward from it if you've got your training structured and you know what you're doing and you're working at set resistances and intervals and recovery rates and so on. But the amount of work that you do, the amount of muscles that you use, all the core little stabilizers and this, and not structured interval training, means that you are less likely to get a big reward from it, and therefore not quite excite yourself as much and enjoy yourself as much on these machines. Now, moving to a different place, maybe somewhere that's like this, okay, with lots of space and odd looking stuff like kettlebells and sandbags and barbells and kind of things like that, the workouts become more intense. The risk factor goes up a little bit because you're kind of doing tricky stuff now, like hammer swings, kettlebell snatches, sandbag throws, weighted carries, pull-ups, drags, kind of stuff like this. The risk factor goes up a little bit because you're not contained in a chair, in a safe setting, but the reward is high. The reward is high because the excitement level is up through the roof. You get excited about it, and it's that little bit risky. It's that little bit risky because it's very challenging because you've got to bring a lot of muscles into a play, a lot of desire, a lot of hard work. And it can benefit you that way, but it can sometimes be a little bit, a little bit on edge because you're pushing yourself full gas, but the reward is greater. So risk and reward, that's the little bit of a difference between the kind of the big corporate type place and a different kind of setting that has a lot of open space and odd tricky equipment that you might not be used to using that may require you to have a little bit of coaching with and up your skill level with. Okay, that's that one. Have a great day.